Circuit Film Festival coming up at the Clinton Street Theater on September the 18th. We're going to be screening a lineup of films for Portland Comedy Film Festival Summer 2022. And one of those films that's going to be screening is from director Lindsay Clift. And that film is called I Would Do Anything for Love. Hello, Lindsay. Thank you for joining us.
Hi. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Congrats on your award nomination, being nominated for Best Comedy Microfilm. Good job.
Oh, man. It feels so good. I hope it does well. I hope people enjoy it.
Well, the judges like that. And for those who don't know what the difference is between a regular film and a microfilm, our microfilm category is for films that are 6 minutes or less. And if you're able to pack in a lot of laughs in 6 minutes, trust me, the judges are going to just really, really reward that. And your film is funny. Not a bad scorecard in the house. People did like it. Thought it was a little dirty, but that's okay. That's okay. That's what we do at film festivals. Don't bring your kids. But can you give us an idea in your own words? What's the synopsis of your film?
Okay. Well, in brief, it's a little film about expectations, about compromise, and about relationships and how important those two things are in relationships, and just how setting the appropriate expectations can lead to a more healthy compromise. That's the more vague breakdown of what this movie's about, but it's a husband and wife who have different wants and different needs. And so they come to the table, so to speak, with their different wants and needs. And in the end, leave with a compromise.
All right. All right. You put that as politically as possible. I love it. I love it. No, it's really funny. It's the first word that pops out on every scorecard is chemistry. People like the chemistry between the two actors, which is fantastic. Obviously, small set here, but people like the chemistry. People like it. It's funny. There was either a combination of laughing out loud or covering the mouth. That's always a good one as it goes on. But I think that you really touched on something that was, even though you took it to another level with the humor, I think you touched on something authentic. And I think I sense that there's some kind of a inspiration behind this, some kind of a real story or a real situation that sparked this. Am I wrong?
I don't know what you're talking about. You mean my life? You mean my life?
Your friend's life. No, I'm joking.
Sure. My friend had this happen. No, my husband's okay with me talking about it. It just was such a funny moment in my life. We were at Cheesecake Factory and he had visual aids and videos show me, and I just was looking around at the tables next to me like, is anyone else seeing this? And just thinking how hysterical. I just left the moment and just laughed. I just looked at it and just thought, this is epic. And when it came to writing it, it happened so quickly. Like I just poured it down, but it was 12 pages originally. It was not micro in the first iteration of it. But the chemistry of these two actors comes from the fact that they did a live performance of this first. We did a Fleabag, right? She did the stage play version. And you get a nice test audience. You see what works. You see what jokes land, which is beautiful. And so we did that with this. And the two of them really got to know each other and, developed this great chemistry. And so by the time we were filming it, it already existed between the two of them. And they're both incredible improv artists. So just letting them run was where a lot of the gold was found. Just take the credit away from me on that part and give it to them.
How did you find them? How did your casting process go?
So I was in film school at the time. I was just finishing up film school. And Afton, the lead actress, she was in film school with me. And I had seen her read a lot of my pages from different scripts that I read, that I'd written in my screenwriting class. And I loved her delivery. I loved the way that, just the way that her face moves. You get an idea of how someone will look on camera. And she just has a real natural quality. And so she was my #1 pick, and I didn't know if she'd say yes because she's a very busy lady. She did say yes, thankfully, obviously. And then Mike I have known almost 20 years. And Mike has a background in the Upright Citizens Brigade, as do I. And I just knew that he would be excellent. The two of them together were just going to be magic. So I, nervously went out to both of them and sent them the script and begged them to do it. And they jumped at it, which made me so happy because they're incredible.
Yeah, good job on that. That is awesome. Yeah. Well, is there anything that you learned during this production, good or bad, during this process?
You always learn so much. I would adjust some of my framing on some of the close-ups. Definitely when I was editing, it's like, oh man, the frame's wrong, So that was a big learner for me. And then audio was tough. We actually did it on a really busy street in Hollywood. You can kind of see the cars going by, but it was my front yard. So, you take what's free. But that was a little bit difficult in the editing. I had to spend a little bit more time and energy on the audio. So that was a big learner. And even though we sort of had 2 locations because we did some interior stuff, it would have been, I like that they were kind of stuck in one, it forced them to come to their compromise, that they're stuck, kind of like relationships are in a way. So it sort of worked for this. But I think, if I keep going with these 2 characters, I'll definitely want to see what they do in other locations and
sure,
a little more variety in there.
I was going to ask you about the future. I was going to ask you about the future. You want to do more with these characters? Is it more the same storyline, or is it just working with the same people?
Oh my God, I'm still married to the same guy, so I'm constantly writing things down. He's wonderful. He just does things that just hit my funny bone because we just think so differently. It's wonderful. So yeah, I might keep going with this. I have a pilot that was created by the lead actress in the pilot, Carmen Plum. And that one is going out to festivals right now. It's another comedy. It's called Namaste LA. And it is, it's about Rhea Sunbeam, who is a spiritual healer and a relationship guru. And she can't make any of her relationships work and her business is failing. So it's sort of about how she's navigating the trials and tribulations of business and dating in the uber zen dog-eat-dog world of Los Angeles. So there's that one. And then I have a feature that I'm looking to make next year. We have part of the budget secured. And it is going around right now in script form. It's a dark comedy to festivals. It was a quarter finalist in the Nickel and a semi-finalist right now in the Screencraft Film Fund, which I hope we end up getting some funding from them. We'll see. So it's a dark comedy. It's about a mortician who develops the delusion that she is dead. And she must find the desire to live or die for real. So,
wow.
Ultra low budget, hoping to shoot it in Texas.
Oh, all right. That's pretty cool. You have any connection to Texas?
That's where I was born and raised.
Where?
In Sherman. It's north of Dallas.
Oh, okay. Well, that'd be good. That'd be good.
Yeah.
We have our events in Texas too. So,
yes.
Man, well, it sounds like you've got a full slate of stuff going on. So
I do. A lot coming up. I'm looking forward to it.
Good stuff. Well, it's good to talk to you. It's really good to get to know you, and wish we could meet at the festival. I'm sure we'll meet at a future event.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Just keep making good content. I'd love to meet up.
Thank you.
Well, is there anything else you want to add before we go?
Just that I really, really appreciate this, and I really enjoy your videos and the advice that you give filmmakers and screenwriters. I just think it's so valuable, and I hope everyone else is watching that and learning from it, and picking up your book.
Oh, thank you. A book plug. You know, I tell you what, that book, it sells every day, and people write me about it all the time. And it's really just the experiences. You see enough submissions, and you see enough, you know, the same mistakes over and over. It'll save you a lot of time, a lot of effort, energy, and money if you just maybe take some of that advice. And my father used to tell me, you know, Michael, learn from other people's mistakes, and trust me, you can do that. You can learn from others, from what other people are doing well as well, but obviously, you know, what they're doing wrong. And I think that the book is a nice resource if you're trying to get your head around this whole film festival thing. So thank you for noticing.
Yeah, I submitted to you probably 3 years ago. And a different thing that I had done, and you sent me a message back and told me all the things that I needed to do to make my media kit better. And I appreciate it so much. No other programmer would have taken the time to do that, you know?
Oh.
So just from that email, I learned a ton. I was like, who is this guy?
Well, thanks. You know, we try to make the effort, especially, you know, we're watching all these films from front to back, every single one of them. We never skim through. We're always trying to get the full concept of what the filmmaker or the screenwriter is trying to accomplish in their work. And sometimes they're just a few steps away. And it's like, if nobody tells you. I told one lady recently, very recently, I said, we like the concept of your film. It's funny. You've got so many audio issues in here with dialogue and certain parts that are so low that if we put this on the screen in like Austin Film Society cinema, where it's like 5.1 sound and like you can hear everything, you're going to notice a big difference in the other films that are screening in yours. And she writes me back and she's like, no festival has ever told us anything like this before. And no one's ever owned us or noticed the audio before. Thanks, LOL. And I was thinking to myself, wow, I was an audio engineer on set for 16 years. What I just told you was not BS, you know? She comes back like a month later and she's like, okay, we have a new cut. And I'm glad you told me what you told me, because we've gotten into 15 film festivals in a row.
Oh,
and we were having problems getting rejected. And I was like, 15 film festivals in a row. Like, wow, send me a commission.
Yeah. But
she
also
was very
listen to people when they're taking the time to give you advice. Listen to it.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. We could all work on that.
It's hard. It's hard when you're like, your heart's in it and someone's like, you know, you feel a little bummed that, you know, they're not responding to it the way that you would. But it's just all of that is so important to just listen to it, take it in, and really think about where that person's coming from, that they're taking the time to give you a note like that.
Sure.
Great.
Sure. Well, I appreciate you noticing, and I'm glad that I could be of assistance in the past. Like I said, we spend a lot of time doing this. I mean, every day, day and night. It's our festivals, our judges from all over the country, and it's people who really enjoy, you know, what they're watching. Can't wait to show the crowd. I mean, this movie, I just can't wait. I mean, I've already seen it, you know, like 6 or 7 times. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch other people react to it. You know, that's the funnest part of the whole festival, is watching other people like, oh my God, what are they going to think about this? You know, what is up with this lady's husband? I mean, her friend. I'm sorry.
Yes.
It's really good. So I wish you could be there to see it in person, but hopefully we'll see you at a future event. We just opened up an event in Atlanta called the Georgia Comedy Film Festival. Of course, we, you know, in early 2023, we're already open for our Houston Comedy and Austin Comedy Film Festivals. So, you know, you never know. Hopefully we'll run into each other at a future one. Okay.
We will.
Thanks a lot for joining me today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No worries. Have a good one.
You too.